The 12 cities considered the most beautiful in the world, according to Forbes magazine. Check them out and tell me if you agree or not. The American magazine Forbes joined a team formed by renowned architects to elect the 12 most beautiful cities in the world. The urban planning, architecture and sustainable development of each evaluated place was taken into account, and the result you can see now, with some basic tips on what to do in each of them. You are already leaving the like on the video and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss anything. You heard, so you don't miss anything. I'll make the top 12 from the least beautiful to the most beautiful, so let's go with me to today's video. In 12th place, Tokyo, Japan. We have the bustling Tokyo, with its modern buildings, shrines and temples that contrast with the hustle and bustle of the capital, numerous electronics stores that are a true paradise for nerds. Be sure to enjoy the famous department stores and restaurants in the Ginza district and the Tokyo Palace, where the imperial family lives. In 11th place, Cambridge, England. Going to Cambridge and not taking a punting tour is a sin. You rent a gondola with a guide and enjoy a trip through the main historical points, knowing all the most important details of where you go. And speaking of history, another mandatory activity is to take a tour of the main faculties within the university that bears the name of the city, and also the house where Charles Darwin lived. In 10th place, London, England. Enjoying the view of London from the London Eye is sure to be one of the most memorable experiences you will ever have. The city has numerous delicious traditional pubs, free museums and galleries, music events at the South Bank Centre and lots of green in the parks around the English capital. In 9th place, New York, in the United States. Everyone knows that New York is the city that never sleeps. There are hundreds of restaurants, bars, clubs, museums and shops that it is easy to get lost in the face of so much information. And even in the face of this hustle, it is still possible to find peace and rest in the lung of the city, Central Park. In winter, the tour takes on a different face, and it is possible to skate on the lake's ice, which takes on another face in the cold season. In 8th place, Chicago, in the United States. The 8th most beautiful city in the world is full of harmonious buildings and monumental green areas such as Millennium Park. Visit the world's largest freshwater lake, Michigan, and then take a moment of inspiration to browse the magnificent Miles bookstores and second-hand bookstores. No matter how hot it is, always take a coat on your walks, okay? 6th. Cape Town, South Africa. A must-stop in Cape Town is the Irish pub The Dubliner, as it is one of the coolest places to enjoy the city's nightlife. And for those who want to know a little more about the history of the miscegenation of South African culture, you should stop by the Bo-Kaap neighborhood, full of colorful houses. Camps Bay is the most popular beach, great for taking a dip and enjoying a beautiful sunset. 5th. Venice, Italy. A good Venetian will tell you that you can't miss visiting St. Mark's Square and Basilica, visiting the Belfry, the tallest building in the city, being dazzled by the visit to the Doge's Palace, and of course, taking a gondola across the famous Ponte das Sais. There are many beautiful things to see in Venice. In 4th place, Florence, Italy. Florence already offers a delight to the eyes for its historic and well-preserved architecture, and as if that were not enough, you can boost your itinerary with several other activities, such as crossing the Ponte Vecchio, enjoying a ride from the Duomo to Piazza della Signoria, getting to know close to the Ferrari store, enter the house of Dante Alighieri, among others. In 3rd place, Sydney, Australia. The capital of New South Wales is undoubtedly a destination that appeals to all types of travelers. Those who enjoy a beautiful landscape should take a walk between the beaches of Coogee and Bondi. Foodies will love 360 Bar and Dining, which, as the name suggests, is a revolving restaurant. Crossing the Sydney Harbour Bridge by train will only make your trip even more unforgettable, and of course getting to know the city's main beaches is paramount. In 2nd place, Vancouver, Canada. Vancouver is a perfect city to visit in the summer. Not so much for the heat, but for seeing how Canadians celebrate and enjoy every second of the season there. And what else is there to do in the second most beautiful city in the world are free programs, like cycling in the incredible Stanley Park, enjoying the sunset in English Bay and sunbathing on the sands of Kitsilano Beach. Enjoy an afternoon at the UBC Museum of Anthropology, take an aquabus ride along False Creek and face your fear of heights at the Capilano Suspension Bridge. And in the very first place, Paris, France. The first most beautiful city, according to Forbes, is charming, romantic and full of history, Paris. You can't help but shiver in front of the famous Eiffel Tower or the omnipotent Arc de Triomphe. Don't forget to visit the busy Avenue Champs-Élysées, have a cup of coffee at Baguette's Café before visiting the Louvre and stop by the Notre Dame Cathedral. So what did you think of today's video? Leave your comment here and subscribe to the channel.